Cyprus, a sparkling jewel in the Mediterranean, famous for its sun-drenched beaches and azure waters. But look closer, beyond the tourist trails, and you'll find a story etched in stone. A history shaped by countless empires, many of which have faded into memory. Today, we're not just visiting Cyprus. We're peeling back the layers of time to uncover the forgotten empires that ruled this island, from its earliest settlers all the way to the Ottoman conquest. Get ready for a journey through thousands of years of power, culture, and conflict. Our story begins with the Phoenicians, the master mariners of the ancient world. They were among the first major powers to recognize Cyprus's strategic value. They weren't just conquerors. They were innovators and traders. Arriving on its shores, they established bustling port cities like Kishon, turning the island into a vital hub connecting the Near East with the wider Mediterranean. They brought with them not just goods, but ideas. The Phoenician alphabet, a precursor to many modern scripts, found a new home here, and their sophisticated trade practices helped weave Cyprus into the fabric of ancient commerce. Imagine those wooden ships pulling into harbor, laden with cedar, textiles, and precious metals, their sailors bringing tales from distant lands. The Phoenicians didn't just build ports. They built bridges between cultures. As the centuries turned, a new power rose in the east, the mighty Assyrian Empire. By the 8th century BCE, their influence stretched all the way to the Mediterranean, and Cyprus, with its valuable copper resources, caught their eye. The island became a tributary state, meaning it had to pay taxes and tribute to the Assyrian king. However, the Cypriot kingdoms were allowed to maintain a surprising degree of autonomy. They governed themselves, but their loyalty belonged to Assyria. Scattered across the island, we find stone inscriptions boasting of Assyrian might and the ruins of fortresses that once housed their garrisons. Though their control was relatively brief, the Assyrians left an indelible mark, reminding us of a time when this small island was a pawn in the grand game of empires. Next came the Persians, the rulers of a vast empire stretching from India to Greece. In the 6th century BCE, Cyprus fell under their dominion. But the Persians were clever rulers. Instead of imposing direct control, they installed local Cypriot kings who were loyal to the Persian crown. This system allowed them to blend their imperial authority with long-standing Cypriot traditions. You could walk through a Cypriot city and see a familiar local king, but the coins in your pocket might bear the image of the great Persian emperor. Temples were built that mixed local and Persian architectural styles, a physical representation of this cultural fusion. This era was a delicate dance between local identity and imperial power, a chapter written in the language of diplomacy as much as conquest. Then, a storm swept across the world named Alexander the Great. His whirlwind conquests brought Cyprus into the vibrant Hellenistic world. After Alexander's death, the island fell under the control of the Ptolemies of Egypt, one of his successor kingdoms. This was a transformative period. The Greek language became dominant, and Greek culture, philosophy, and art flourished like never before. Magnificent temples dedicated to Greek gods rose toward the sky, and intricate mosaics depicting myths and daily life decorated the floors of wealthy villas. Gymnasiums became centers of learning and physical training. Cyprus was no longer just a strategic outpost. It had become a beacon of Hellenistic civilization in the eastern Mediterranean, a legacy that endures in its very soul. By 58 BCE, all roads led to Rome, and one of those roads ended in Cyprus. The burgeoning Roman Empire absorbed the island, making it a senatorial province. The Romans were master administrators and engineers, and they brought their expertise to the island. They built roads, aqueducts, and grand public buildings. Roman law and administrative systems were introduced, transforming Cypriot society. Lavish villas adorned with stunning mosaics, like those at Paphos, showcased the wealth and sophistication of the era. The Romans didn't erase what came before. They built upon it, creating a unique Romano-Cypriot culture. For centuries, Cyprus enjoyed the Pax Romana, the Roman peace, a period of stability and prosperity under the watchful eye of the eagle. When the Roman Empire split, Cyprus found itself part of the eastern half, the powerful and enduring Byzantine Empire. This was a new era defined by a new faith, Christianity. The island became a deeply religious land. Churches, many with iconic domed roofs and beautiful frescoes, sprang up in every town and village. But this was also a time of peril. The Byzantines fortified the island heavily, building imposing castles and watchtowers along the coast to defend against frequent Arab raids. Fortresses like St. Hilarion, perched high in the Kyrenia Mountains, are a dramatic reminder of this turbulent period. For nearly 800 years, Cyprus was a Christian stronghold on the frontier of the Byzantine world, its people defending their faith and their homes against a changing world. The tides of history shifted again with the Crusades. In 1192, after a series of dramatic events involving Richard the Lionheart, Cyprus was sold to the French Lusignan family. This began the era of the Lusignan Kingdom, a feudal European state transplanted into the Mediterranean. The French nobility built magnificent Gothic cathedrals and fairy tale castles, like the one in Colossae. They introduced the feudal system, with knights, lords, and serfs fundamentally reshaping Cypriot society. This was a time of chivalry and conflict, a unique blend of French courtly culture and the island's deep-rooted traditions. For 3 centuries, Cyprus was a crusader kingdom, a final bastion of European power in the Near East. The Lusignan dynasty eventually faltered, and in 1489, another great maritime power took control, the Republic of Venice. The Venetians were merchants and military engineers, and their interests in Cyprus were purely strategic and commercial. They saw the island as a crucial defense post against the expanding Ottoman Empire and a valuable hub for their trade routes. They heavily fortified the major cities like Nicosia and Famagusta, with massive new walls and bastions, many of which still stand today. These fortifications are masterpieces of Renaissance military architecture. Under Venetian rule, Cyprus was a fortress and a trading post, its fate dictated by the political and economic ambitions of the powerful city-state on the Adriatic. But the Venetian walls could not hold back the tide forever. In 1571, after a brutal and bloody siege, the Ottoman Empire conquered Cyprus. This marked another profound shift in the island's history. The Ottomans introduced a new administration, a new legal system, and a new religion, Islam. Mosques with soaring minarets were built, often alongside ancient churches. Turkish baths, bazaars, and coffee houses became part of the urban landscape. The Ottoman conquest brought a new community to the island, adding another rich layer to its already complex cultural identity. For over 300 years, Cyprus was a province of the Ottoman Empire, its destiny intertwined with the great power in Istanbul. From Phoenician sailors to Ottoman governors, Greek philosophers to Venetian engineers, Cyprus has been a crossroads for empires. Each power that ruled here left something behind: a fortress, a mosaic, a word in the local dialect, a recipe. Some of these legacies are obvious, celebrated in museums and archaeological sites. Others are more subtle, woven into the island's DNA. The story of Cyprus is a powerful reminder that history is never simple. It's a tapestry of countless threads, a place where civilizations met, clashed, and merged. Thank you for joining us on this journey through time. If you enjoyed this exploration, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more stories from the crossroads of history.